Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. I am out of town. I'm in this cute little boutique hotel, so I was like, let me do a video. So I want to do this video because prom season is here. So y'all know I always got a story, so I'm gonna tell y'all about my senior prom. My senior year, one of the teachers, she was also like part of I guess the senior committee. So she would talk to us about planning prom, yearbook and stuff like that. And she said that they were having an essay writing competition. And she was like, I think you should enter. And I was like, okay, what do you win? She was like $500. I was like, of course, I write essays for free. Why wouldn't I do it for 500? So the topic was, if you had some magical dust and you can change something in community, what would you change? So I ended up writing an essay saying that I would, create more community programs for the youth, because when they don't have things to do, they find things to do and they end up in trouble, things like that. So your girl won. I mean, y'all know, I'm a wordsmith, I get it done. So I ended up winning. So I'm hyped because I'm like, I'm about to get $500. And at that point, I was working at a law firm and I had already purchased most of my things for prom. I mean, it wasn't like the way prom is now, because they be going all the way out. But I had my dress. Me and my friends already booked our limo, and we split the cost and everything. So that money was on me. So when it was time to collect, they was like, yeah, you don't get that. I was like, excuse me? They were like, you don't get the $500. I said, but that's what it said. That's the only reason why I entered. So they ended up saying you get $500 worth of stuff towards your prom. And I'm like what? Because I don't need anything else. And at that time we wasn't doing makeup. We would go get our eyebrows done, get our nails done, and that's it. That was prom. So I'm like, $500 worth of what? And they're like, well, I would get a dance lesson with Antonio Banderas. He was doing a movie at the time. It was called Take the Lead. Yeah. And then I got to do a ribbon cutting ceremony for this program called Operation Fairy Dust. And Operation Fairy Dust, what they did was they donated gently used gowns, and girls from around the city, if they needed a prom dress, they could come pick it up. So because I won, I got to do the ribbon cutting ceremony for that program. And I got there really early, and a few people were there covering the story, Hot 97, The Village Voice, Extra, whatever. So while I was there having breakfast with the crew, they were like, everyone who's here, who's volunteering, you need to wear a tiara so that the girls know that you're working here. And if they have any questions or they need help, they know who to look for. And then they said this year, Alicia Keys donated a dress. And they were like, the girl who gets the dress, make sure, y'all get some pictures of her and yada, yada, yada. So they're like, we know you're not here. Told me. They're like, we know you're not here for a dress, but if you want one, feel free. They're like, you get to pick first. So y'all already know. I was like, where's the Alicia Keys dress? Because if I'm not going to get $500, y'all going to give me something worth something. So they were like, oh, it's right here. They get it. It was in Tracy Reese. It was a gown that Alicia Keys had wore to the NAACP Awards that year. And it was cute. But if you know Alicia Keys, she doesn't have a lot of boobs, but she got some hips on her. When I was in high school, I was a 34 double D, and I ain't really had no Alicia Keys hips. So they're like, oh, try on the dress. And I was like, no, I don't want to try it on. But I didn't want to try it on because I knew it wouldn't fall on me the way it fell on her. They're like, try it on. So I'm like, all right, fine. I try it on. And of course, boobs galore. And they're like, oh, maybe you can get some pins. And in my head, I'm thinking, yeah, sure. I'm not even wearing this shit because I already got my dress. So, I listen to them. They're taking pictures. They're asking me questions. And how did I find out about the program? So I'm telling them oh, I wrote this essay and I won the ribbon cutting ceremony for this. So, the day is over. I get my dress. I go home. So Monday I go to school, and one of the girls at the school was like, did you see yourself in the newspaper? And I was like, no. So she opens up her newspaper and there's a picture of me with the dress on. And I was like, let me get that. She was like, no. I was like, bitch, how you not gonna give me the article with me in it? All right, whatever. So I'm like, I'm gonna buy my own newspaper. I can afford to buy one. So after school, I go and I pick up the Daily News, and I'm dead ass in there. So they're covering the story, and I'm like, first of all, who gave the Daily News consent to put me in there? Because I know I didn't, and I know my mama didn't. So how am I in here? But anyway, I'm reading it, and they're like, oh, you know, Alicia Keys is Maloon's fairy godmother, and yada, yada, yada. And I was just like, and they're like, Alicia Keys got these words for her. And I was like, oh, okay. But the way it seemed, if you read it, you would think that I met her. I didn't meet this woman. I never met Alicia Keys. But this was the article. So people are now getting their papers. They're seeing it. I'm walking through the school. They're like, congratulations, congratulations. And I'm like, thank you. But, you know, ain't no thing. Like, I didn't get the dress because I needed it or, you know, whatever. But I guess, you know, them saying like me being in the paper, like that's a big thing. So I'm like, thank you, you know, real humble about it because it's not that deep. The teacher who told me to enter the essay writing competition, she was like, oh, In Touch magazine wants to do an interview with you. And I was like, oh, word? Okay, cool. They asked me what I thought about it. And I said, oh, I thought it was a great experience. I was like, it's a great thing that Alicia Keys donated the dress. And they're like, oh, you know, are any of your friends jealous? And I was like, no, actually, everyone is congratulating me. I was like, they're really happy for me. And they're like, oh, okay. They're like, you know, is there anything that you want to say to Alicia Keys? And I was like, no, not really. Because again, I did not need it. I just got the dress because I didn't get my $500. Now it was time for prom. So, you know, I'm hype or whatever. You know, I'm getting ready to get my hair done, getting ready to get my nails done, my pedicure, just do all the things so we could go to prom. The teacher pulls me aside again, and she's just like, oh, you know, they're going to send a photographer to the prom so that they can take pictures of you wearing the dress. So now, you know, the shit is blowing my now because that's not part of my plan. My plan wasn't to wear that dress to prom. My plan was to wear my dress to prom, the one that I bought. Or did my mom buy it? Whatever. The dress that was already purchased for my prom, that's what I was gonna wear. So she was like, well, you gonna have to wear 2 dresses because they come in. I was like, tell them don't come. She was like, I'm not gonna tell them that. So here I am. Mind you, they're 2 totally different dresses, which means hairstyles were supposed to be different, whatever. But I was like, I'm going to wear my hair how I wanted for the dress that was already purchased. And the dress that I got from Alicia Keys, not from her, but from that event, it was gonna get whatever hairstyle I had on my head because I wasn't gonna accommodate both. So we get ready, we go to prom, and when we get there, lo and behold, there was really a photographer there. I never saw them pictures. I don't know if Alicia Keys saw them pictures. They gave me like flowers and a teddy bear and everything and were still congratulating me. And you know, it was nice. But I'm just like, it was a lot because then I had to go and find a place to go change into my outfit. Like, it got crazy. I get the article and this was what it looks like. That issue of their magazine, they were pointing out women who were celebrities that were not were pregnant, but that they thought were pregnant and they saw like a baby bump. Why the fuck did they point to my stomach? Let me show y'all again. Why would they point at my stomach like that? Like, what if I was just fat? What if my mama ain't know? How they know I wanted the whole world to know? I mean, I was pregnant and everything, but so what? That's not the world's business. And that's not why I was in the magazine. I was like, that's so crazy. What's even crazier was the fact that they said, Maloon said, she wants Alicia Keys to know that this was a dream come true. And the shit was in quotes. I'm like, where did they get that from? Who dreams about getting a dress? How about y'all give me my $500? So I'm like, they full of shit. And that also from that day, I just knew, even if you see something in quotes, that doesn't mean that they said that shit. They be lying. Because if they could lie on me and I'm not a celebrity, you know they lying on the celebrities. But anyway, so that was cool, whatever. I showed it to my mom. I don't even think she noticed them pointing at my belly, but I did because I noticed everything. And at that time, school was over. I graduated and I was going to have my baby. So it was what it was. I just wanted to share that story about how I wore 2 prom dresses for my senior prom, and one of them belonged to Alicia Keys. I do want to say I'm glad that I graduated when I did, because the way they do prom now, baby, I'm lying. I'm lying, because if they did prom like that for when I was in school, I would have got it done. I'm pretty sure my mother would have made sure we got it done. But that's all I have. Until next time, love, peace, and blessings.